for our last, sorry, I'm a big sports aficionado, ranging from basketball to volleyball, from baseball to football, whether American football or soccer or football. Obviously, sporting teams or leagues have been using data to not just improve players' performance but also teams' performance by uh, maximizing their ability to win not just games but championships and so forth. Now, sporting leagues are using that knowledge is not just capitalizing on the popularity of the sports, but leveraging its popularity in terms of the fans or the viewers who's watching those sports. So in the case of mine, if they know I'm watching a particular sport, they want me to watch more of it, like similar how NBA is offering the NBA League Pass, so not just watching on your TV screen, you can watch it everywhere where you want, as long as you have internet access from your from the live game, or watching from your TV set at home, or watching it in your desktop computer, or even your smartphone if you're on the go here. And obviously, you can watch it to your heart's content as long as you pay a subscription fee here, which obviously benefits the league as a whole here. And I think the NBA has capitalized on it tremendously here. Now, according to the article here at Forbes.com, data scores big for the sports fan experience here. So let's take a look. So here we can see that how sports leagues and teams can boost their fan experience through personalization and real-time data analytics. Now, obviously, improving the fan experience will bring about more revenue for businesses, especially as mentioned, if you go to watch live events or live games, not only you have to buy tickets, but also you go with your friends or family. And then when you go to that site, you may tend to buy merchandise. That's another revenue that you generate, as well as, obviously, typically when you're in a sporting event, if you watch the game, it's a lot of excitement. You need food and drinks to supplement that experience. And again, an additional cost, more revenue for the business or for that particular arena as well. So in this case, what do you call this? Sports are about head and heart. Or so the traditional goes. Now, another crucial element in impacting sports industry is data. Obviously, with the advent of the computers and internet access, data has been accumulating at a extraordinary rate. So obviously, instead of just dismissing data here, why not use it to your advantage here, whether on a personal or an organizational level here. So instead of eroding the inherent human quality of playing and watching sports, data is enhancing them, enabling leagues and teams to capitalize on the direct-to-consumer models, which is what I was saying earlier. So instead of just hoping that a lot of people will go to events or watch on TVs, is catering or more on a personalized experience, which I think is the right way to go. But in order to do that, you have to understand the behavior or the preferences of that particular individual. Some may like basketball, some may prefer baseball, some may prefer football, hockey, tennis, or whatever sport. So obviously, if they have that data, they can cater that to your if I like, let's say, golf, or I like to watch Tiger Woods play a round of golf. Now, sad to say, with regards to Tiger Woods, he's not necessarily planning to retire, but he's planning to play lesser tournaments here, which is kind of sad. So it's, after the accident that he had, which is kind of a miraculous event, if he eventually, is able to win a championship before he retires, then that's good. That brings excitement to the game, and a lot of people would watch it still. So catering to the preferences of individuals is what they're planning to do here. So what most leagues and teams are rookies at tackling data and managing fans' relationships. So the direct-to-consumer pipeline, that's more fragmented than in other industries. Obviously, you have different stakeholders. I think like how the NBA is doing. So obviously, excuse me. So the NBA has growing in popularity from the time of Michael Jordan, from Larry Bird and Magic Johnson's heyday in the 80s, then Michael Jordan in the 90s, then you have Kobe Bryant, LeBron James in the 2000 eras here. And how did they gain that information? Obviously, looking at the data, which region has the highest number of viewers here. It's not in the United States, but in China. That's why they wanted to capitalize on that region. But there's politics involved with it, which we don't want to get into that. But they were able to find out. That's why they've been trying to partner with China in terms of developing basketball as a sport, the growth, the popularity. That's why in the off season you see many NBA players, former and current players, are traveling to to China to promote the game, to promote NBA, so that more people will be inclined, especially young generations, to play the sport, to watch the sport. And obviously in China there are a billion people there, so if you can just entice a small subset of that population, that's still pretty substantial compared to the rest of the world here. But the question here is, what would it take? Obviously preferences from one region may differ slightly from another, so customizing it would be, ideal here. So here we have an example. While some fans consume sports through streaming services and traditional broadcast channels, on the other hand, other purchase tickets through stadiums, web-based ticket services. And then you have enthusiasts shop for merchandise at online and physical stores. So the key here is for those different segments, team shared performance analytics in one form for coaches and players, and another fans, segmentation and personalization are highly complex. But if it's done properly, could bring tremendous benefit, not just for the sport itself, but for the players and as well as the viewers themselves. So let's say if my favorite NBA team right now is, let's say it's the Miami Heat. So if they have my data, they would give me feedback as to what's the update. Let's say, for example, what happened to what's his name, Jimmy Butler? Was he injured? When's he coming back? So I would be interested to find out. Or in the case of what happened to Bam Adebayo, he had surgery. What's the timetable? So I'll be glued into their situation here. Now, obviously, this can go to a multitude of opportunities, not just in one particular team or one particular sport. Could be a variety of sports. And obviously, the more information companies or sporting leagues can get would be a tremendous boon for them. Anyway, so the question here is, will it take, how long will it take before companies, or what do you call this? How long will it take for sporting leagues to take advantage? And I think one of the better popular leagues as of the moment is we have NFL, the National Football League, which I tend to follow regularly because of its popularity and getting the rights. How much was the? Let me see here. What was the how much was, I think it's in the billions. I forgot the NFL TV rights deal. How much was it? Ayun, TV contract deal. Yeah, in the north of 100 billion. And you have multiple TV networks vying for that slot. You have NBC, ABC, which is owned by ESPN, which has another network, ESPN, then CBS, NBC, just to name a few, who are paying for that chunk. So that's how they know that the game is popular, because millions of people watch on the games on a weekly basis. And then if you remember, during championship time, during the Super Bowl, especially the halftime, the commercials itself, companies are paying millions of dollars. Even in a downturn pandemic last year, companies are still paying millions of dollars to have the 30-second spot, because they know a lot of people are watching. It's not just avid game followers, but also other aficionados, because especially in the United States, if it's Super Bowl, people are glued in to watch it, regardless you like sports or not here, because it's a cultural activity now. And this is similar to how Independence Day or Thanksgiving and so forth, right? So it becomes more synonymous when it's a Super Bowl. A lot of people would watch it, and if companies know that, or the league knows that, they want to capitalize that, so they would leverage it by those people who want to advertise, sell a product or service. You pay a hefty fee, and this is what it would look like. And I think other leagues can take advantage of that. It's not just promotion on arenas. I think you see in basketball arenas and even in soccer leagues, you see different logos, not just on the shirts of players, but also logos on the arena itself, in the pitch or in the basketball arena itself. So obviously there's a lot more that you could take advantage, especially there's a lot of sports aficionado, not just me. So capitalizing on it is obviously the way of the future. But the question here is, are we getting to the point of breaching the data privacy concerns here? So how do we balance that is another discussion altogether.